Hey guys, it's Archangel Peter back again. We're working with a new energy that's coming through for today. It's going to be very strong. It's going to be a little bit more of what we've been talking about in terms of being able to understand how the earth can fuse with our energy field and help other people. How we work together is by allowing the right energy to come to us. Sometimes that can take time, right? If we are here and we have nothing to do and there's nothing pressing, then we ground. We connect to the earth ley lines, and the earth ley lines start to work through our physical energy field. We have different energy layers that we work with, right? Each chakra pertains to an energy density or an energy dimension, right? We have our first chakra, which has to do with our physical body and also has to do with the heaviest of the energies that we need to release, right? It's our physical day-to-day life that we're working with in terms of the first chakra. So the first chakra is opening up right now. It means that is the priority. That is the thing that we need the most balancing, right? If our first chakra is connected to the ground, then we can open up our first chakra and open up our second chakra. So we open up our second chakra, we connect to our ability to digest, right? It's right there in our small intestines, right below the belly button. It is the part of ourself that is where we store energy. It's also the part of ourselves that has to do with our emotions. That's why we do emotional eating or emotionally hydrating or emotionally anything at all, right? We do things that make us feel. And when we do things that make us feel good, then we want to come back to them, right? It's how our neural programming or wiring works in our brain. So if we're doing something that feels really good, then this is the chakra that's going to help us regulate what feels right, what feels good to us, what feels like the most nourishing to us in all ways, right? So if we're calibrating that, what is the most nourishing thing in the world, right? What is the most nourishing thing to you? And that could be joy, it could be happiness, it could be a feeling of inclusion or community or fitting in or feeling like you have a group of people that are going through the same thing all around you, right? And that's what this is. That's what we're creating in this group, in this conversation, is the group of solidarity of people that want to connect in this way and that have felt the call and have felt the energy and have felt the aura of an archangel. So as we work with archangels and as we work through a balancing in terms of what that is and what that means, if we are archangels, then what does that mean? It means that we have a lot of things that we need to digest. And that's what we're doing right now with the second chakra. We're digesting and processing and feeling into what is. So allow the second chakra to open up into the third. When we have our third chakra opening up, it means that we have a huge amount of energy that's bursting through us. It's breaking all the way through, all the way up to the top of our chakras. And like I said in previous videos, we work with 10 different chakras, but for right now, we're going to work with the heart. So let's allow the heart to open up. The fourth chakra, the heart is going to build a nice connection right now. The heart is opening up and our spirit is opening up and our guides are opening up and our shoulders are opening up and our ability to feel everything around us is opening up. When we open up our first chakra, our second chakra, and our third chakra, and we take our time to get to know each one, the third chakra wants us all to feel at ease, right? This is who we really are. All of the other stuff in the way, all of the stress, all of the tension, all of the fear, all of that stuff is now being released, right? We don't need those things. We don't need to feel those things. When we can feel good, when we can feel connected, and we can feel at ease, then the earth starts to come through. So that Uriel, the earth, open up. Uriel is one of the archangels that will help us find a way to ground. Grounding, again, is to find a state of homeostasis, a place of peace, a place where we can step into full recovery. We can relax all the way down. We can sleep easier, right? Taking all that stagnant energy and we're giving it space to move. We're giving it a place to go and roam and release and process and break apart. When we have all this built up, stored away energy, we have all this built up, stored away potential, and we want to be able to liberate that. All right. So when we ground into the earth, we're opening up an entire corridor, an entire space where we can spread out. We can organize ourselves more. We can build a little bit more of a routine around spreading out, opening up all this energy into the ground and into the earth, where it's not only helping us kind of regulate ourselves, it's also helping the earth regulate itself and build a rapport, a communication between its, people that it's connecting with, right? People that it's hosting, right? So as we connect to the earth and the earth starts to connect to us, allow that reciprocity, that reciprocation to go back and forth, right? We're moving energies, right? When we connect to our right side, this is the positive side, the masculine side, the sun, the light. We're healing the earth. The earth has the same. It has a receiving of energy. When we receive, we're also connecting to the feminine side. When we're able to receive light and positivity, it means that we've been able to harmonize. We've harmonized our physical body with the earth, and the earth is now harmonizing with the sun, and the sun is now harmonizing with us, and the sun is now harmonizing with all of the other stars in the galaxy. As we build this connection, this release, this protective field of circulation, we're able to open up our spirit, open up ourselves, open up our hearts, open up our body, open up everything. Everything that's opening up is going to teach us how to be, teach us how to exist, and teach us how to feel, right? When we feel and we process everything, and we're able to experience life in all of its ways, and all of its quirkiness, and all of its funniness, and all of its hardness, and all of its disgust, and all of its pain, and all of its fear, and all of its anxiety, and all of its dread. But then, when we start to break apart all of that negativity, we can open up the other side. The other side of all of that is the real energy that we want to connect with. We want to connect with love. We want to connect and harness the peace that comes with being able to open up our hearts. Our hearts are here for us. So we need to be here for others. We need to be here for the people that surround us. We need to be here for the world that surrounds us. If the world is in a process of healing, right? How can we be at most service for that process? And that's by doing the exact same thing, by going through our own process of healing. And if we're there together in solidarity and processing all these emotions in this way, then why is it that the world still needs more people to help? And it's because we are still waking up, we're still enduring, we're still understanding what it means to be in this process. So if you are able to be in this process and know why you're here, good. Congratulations. We're all going through some sort of process in our life. If you are still trying to figure it out and you want to understand more about what it is that we do, then I suggest going to another video of mine. I have my first 4 videos that I can post underneath in the link below. And when you watch those, you'll be able to understand a little more about what I do. As for the rest of you who have already connected, I work with archangels. I work with the earth, and I work with everything. Everything means energy is existing in all space. So if we can bring in higher dimensional codes or energy or existences, then this is where I call in the Archangel of Communication. That is my energy, and that's also the energy of Archangel Uriel. Uriel is connected to all things. Uriel has been facilitating the connection with Earth. Now Uriel will facilitate a connection with God. If God is an energy field that wants to come down, it means that there is a reason, and there's also a larger field that will come through. This larger field is the Atlantean field. Atlantis was a place that existed before. It was a place that existed in a space and a time and an era where things were in harmony, and we lived in peace, and we lived at a way, right? We were living in a way that made us feel really, really connected. So we didn't yearn for things. We didn't yearn for the things that we yearn for today to fill that void. But here, in this moment, that energy is starting to be connected. We are connecting to an awareness that's coming through to help remind us, or to help re-evaluate and reconnect us to that framework or that understanding that when we have our own energy, when we are our own being, when we're our own self-sustaining sovereign human being, then we don't need to depend on anybody. We don't need to depend on anything. We can be on our own and be left alone. And when we're left alone in a way where we're self-sustaining, then the world starts to open in a different way, where it's like, okay, you're producing enough energy to sustain yourself. Can you also sustain another being? Can you sustain another living community or a living circumstance? And that's what's opening up right now. If we're in a space where we've already discovered how to be on our own, and enjoy that process of being alone, right? This is not going into a cave and being by yourself. This is going into a space where you can actually be by yourself and feel good and enjoy it and really kind of bring out parts of yourself that you've wanted to get cozier with and get to know a little more. That's where I call upon different artists and different writers and different, people in the world that exist today that resonate with that solitude. When we connect to our spirit, when we connect to our guides, when we connect to an array of things that we can do when we're by ourselves, then we can start to open up a larger spiritual understanding. We are never alone. We're never alone, right? And that's something that does get repeated over and over. But when you can know that through and through each and every one of your existences and all of the dimensional expressions that define who you are through your chakras and through your speech and through your emotions and through your mind and through your spirit and through how other people relate to you, you're able to express yourself in such a powerful way that the world actually starts to connect to you in different ways. It means that the world starts to react to you differently. If there are people in a room, then they'll see you and they'll say, I don't know why, but I just feel like I need to connect with that person. And that's literally what happens. They walk over and you have a conversation and then they're like, oh, this is why I needed to connect to this person. They are tapped into something really, really profound. And that is what it means to be an archangel. You are a spiritual existence in a world full of people who are looking for something to fill this missing piece. And this missing piece is coming back. And we are the ones that are bearing witness to it and also facilitating that reconnection. So if you can reconnect to yourself in this moment, allow that reconnection to spread, allow it to open up its wings and allow it to spread throughout the entire world, spread the entire cosmos, throughout everything that exists at all, anywhere, anyhow. And allow yourself to just relax into that space. If we are grounding energy in this way, then the spirit of Archangel Uriel and God is coming through, and they're going to connect us to an era, a place where peace was in a state of existence so profound and so profusely that there was never even an ideology of fear or scarcity or negativity. It was all connected into a space of healing. And as we step into this moment of healing, we know that God and the archangels and all of the other existences that surround the cosmos and surround us are coming through. Allow the spirit of Archangel Uriel, Sariel, Raguel, Gabriel, Ramiel, and Raphael to come through. Allow the spirit of all of the archangels to come through. Allow our hearts to fuse, connect, and balance into their space. Allow the spirit of Archangel Uriel to say, I am here. I am here. Allow the spirit of Archangel Ramiel to come through and say, I am here. I am here. And allow the spirit of Archangel Raphael to come through and say, I am here. I am here. We have a balance coming through, where that when we connect to archangels, their energy starts to spread and deepen into this well of energy that we're tapping into in terms of ley lines. We connect to the grid that I've been working on now for about 10 years. This grid is opening up even more. So as we connect to more and more people who've been doing the same, we get this ample supply of energy that's going to keep us grounded. Every time we connect through this medium, through this conversation, we're able to ground more and more energy from the cosmos, from the higher frequencies that are coming in to join with us. So every time you come in, you patch in or tap into these videos, you're contributing just by being here. So thank you guys so much for being here. Allow the archangels to come through. And allow this work to be exactly what it is. It is a work in progress. It's also a work. It's a work. We're working right now. So every time you connect to a video and you feel like you want to connect to the next video, keep connecting and keep moving through this process so we can do all the work that we need to do for the earth to continue to flow. This is the spirit of Archangel Uriel and Raguel and Gabriel and Ramiel and Raphael all coming through in one transmission. Allow the spirit of Archangel Peter to come through. When we connect to Archangel Peter is my higher self. I connect with him in all the ways that I connect to my own energy field. My own energy field is my own. I am a unique human being. I am my own person. I don't pretend to be anybody I am not. I'm exactly who I say I am. I am an embodied channel that is able to channel archangels through our grid. Our grid space is the space that I've been patching and working with for years now. If you were to take all the time that I sat in meditation throughout those last 10 years and put them all together, it would equate probably, I'd say, close to 6 or 7 years in meditation. I sit in meditation constantly. Meditation is not always just sitting with your eyes closed. It's a state of meditation in terms of being in a state of a trance where your energy or your brain waves are at such a way where you're in a trance. Technically, we're in a trance right now. We're in a meditative state where everything is relaxed and our body can start to communicate with these frequencies, because the frequencies are very, very soft, very light to touch, light to move through, light to tap into. But when they get familiar with you and you start to communicate with them and they start to communicate with you, there's a familiarity where we can start to build alignments. When we build alignments, it's the same thing with Archangel Metatron. We're working with geometry. We're working with different ways to align. When we align to grids, when we align to certain specifications in terms of our own energy and how we move through space, then our bodies are also aligning to a frequency through which meridian lines we're working through in our body. Right now I'm working through the right side of my body, which is my masculine side. That side is lighting up in a way where we're breaking through all of the ideas of what it means to be a man. We are women, we are men, we are kids, we are parents, we are brothers, we are siblings, we are grandparents, we are parents, we are all forms of expressions of what it means to be human, right? Human beings exist in ways where we can be binary, non-binary, we can be a masculine expression of a feminine, we can be a feminine expression of a masculine. There are no restrictions, and that is perfectly acceptable. There is no reason anybody needs to be a certain way. And when we try to restrict that flow of circulation, and we try to put restraints upon how people say things or communicate, then that is where the negativity is able to come in, right? We're putting in a block, we're putting in a restriction. But when your energy is able to move through those restrictions without being, trapped in it, we're able to move in a way where there is no issue. There is never any issue. We are always good. There's always something to come from these moments. And even though there are people in the world that want to put restraints and put reins around you and tell you how to live, then that's okay. They can do whatever they want, but they will not succeed. And they won't succeed just because of who we are. We are archangels. We work with higher beings. We work with higher frequencies. And as a result, we are protected by those frequencies. And if you are building a connection with your higher self through the communication of higher beings, then that means that you are also going to be protected no matter what. There is nothing you ever need to worry about. There's nothing you ever need to say or do that feels out of alignment for you to feel the way that you are going to feel. When you can feel so good that your life starts to just almost flash before your eyes, right? You're so grateful for everything that you've gone through in your life that has brought you to this current circumstance of such euphoria, right? You can say, oh my goodness, this is incredible. Wow, the world is opening up just like I knew it would. Right? There is this knowing that we knew the world was going to wake up in this way, but we just weren't so sure about it and how it would do it, but we knew one day it would happen, right? It's that faith that we follow that gets us to where we belong. So when you can stay connected to that knowing, to that feeling of gratitude, knowing that whatever is going on in your current circumstance, just keep going. When you get to that space of euphoria and you're like, wow, I made it. You start to recognize that everything that happened before that was a struggle and was difficult, you're now so grateful for, because you wouldn't have appreciated what you've now entered into had you not gone through the other side of it, right? It is the amazing thing about how healing works and how working with heaven works, is that in order for us to appreciate where we are, that's creating this explosion of positivity, this euphoria, we have to also go through some of the other sides of that in order for it to be as magnificent as it is. So with all of that, I hope you have an excellent, wonderful rest of your day. I'm here if you ever want to chat. You can reach out through my website, which is in the links as well. And you can also just, message me on this video or reach out directly through my website. Much love to all of you. Until the next time.